I'd like to call upon the chief and the president of the PBA to come up here as well. Lakewood had a tragedy recently. However, something good came out of tragedy. Unity. People got together. People all came out to the funeral. People came out with well wishes. I was driving down Clifton Avenue with Mayor Seda, and right before the funeral, we were getting ready to come here, and we saw hundreds of thousands of people coming from all over to gather to be there at that time. Amazing, the unity that transpired in Lakewood. That unity and the memory of Chris is what we're celebrating tonight. Originally, the thought was, we've got to capitalize on this unity, we have to capitalize on this memory to keep it eternal. How would we do that? And a number of thoughts were thrown around, and the idea came up to name a street after Chris. And of course the thought was, what street to decide, what street to pick? The initial thought was maybe name the street that he was murdered at, name that street. And then the thought is, we're not looking to create a hardship on the people that live in the block, and all of a sudden start new names and new checkbooks and new GPS, and the next thing you know, they're lost. Then the thought was, let's find a street in Lakewood that no one lives on. The thought came out, Thorndike Boulevard, be a beautiful street. And as we were toying with this idea, I was speaking with the president of the PBA, Gary Kozlowski, and Gary's been a tremendous help and assistance with the ideas of coming up with this. And Gary said, you know what, Matlosz? Round of applause. And Gary said, you know, let's honorarily rename 3rd Street. And the reason for that would be, this way every day when we come to work, would remember the legacy of Chris Matlosz. And I think that was a fantastic thing. Ideas poured in from all over. We've had support come from all over. As a matter of fact, moments before this meeting, a school comes over to me. I just got word there's a school here right now. A school of Orthodox boys that they each wrote a letter for the chief in honor and memory of Chris Matlosz. And I'd like to call upon the dean of the school, Rabbi Eisenberg, to please come forth with some of your students to present. To provide letters of support of Lakewood's finest during these trying times. In this loose leaf, which has the emblem of Chris, is letters written by people who probably never saw Chris, never knew Chris. However, we all feel part of the family right now. We all feel together. There's unity. And this here was put together by a school. Every student here wrote a letter to give their support. I'd like to give you the opportunity to present it to the chief on behalf of your boys.
We express our most heartfelt condolences to the Matlosz family and entire extended family, the Lakewood Police Department. Among the ideals that we try to instill in our students are those of communal responsibility and dedication to others. Indeed, these are part of the fabric of religious life. The tragic and untimely end of Officer Matlosz's life underscores something that we tend to take for granted. Every police officer, every day, puts his life on the line with the sole purpose of keeping the rest of us safe. Being a cop is not like an office job. It's a life of caring for a community, and it was in that spirit of caring that Officer Matlosz was taken from us. To Officer Matlosz's family and colleagues, we say, no one can truly understand your pain. We know that all officers are like brothers, and as an outsider looking in, we can only imagine what you must be going through. Myself and the students pray that God give you all the strength and fortitude to continue and to perpetuate the legacy of dedication and devotion that Officer Matlosz has bequeathed to all citizens of Lakewood and beyond. Thank you, and God bless you all. Amen.
I'll never forget the moment I got the phone call. Friday afternoon. It was my first Shabbos back in America to be with the family. And the phone call came in of what transpired. And immediately, it was minutes before sundown, I remember calling up Mayor Lichtenstein, our police commissioner, together with Ray Coles, and saying, this tragedy struck. And immediately, those two said, we're down there, we're going. And they hit the road, they went down to the police department to be there during the trying time. And Mayor always says, he's lucky, his first name is Mayor, so he's always Mayor. In any case, at that moment, it personified what Mayor always says. And when I see him sometimes at fire scenes or other scenes, and Mayor's common refrain, he always says to our professionals out there is, when you're out of bed, we're out of bed. And I'd like him to say a few words on behalf of the committee, and the committee members will speak as well, but this will, our commissioner to say a few words.
Thank you all. Thank you. It is with a sense of honor and pride, mixed with sadness, that we stand here today. The renaming of the street will serve as a reminder to those of us on the Township Committee, as well as all the citizens of Lakewood, the tremendous appreciation we have to Lakewood's finest. It also serves to remind us of the daily sacrifice the families of our officers make as their loved ones stand by their commitment to serve and protect this great township. The naming of the street is not merely ceremonious. As we report for work each day, as citizens come to conduct business and visitors make their way through the halls, they will all recall the ultimate sacrifice Chris made. And they will remember the continuous gravity and the importance of our police department's job. To Kelly, Chris's family, the Lakewood Police Department, and the extended family of the Lakewood Police Department, I say, we are grateful to you, we are here for you, we keep you in our prayers, and we care for you. And as the sorrowful tones of the bagpipe replay in my mind, and the somber silence that descended on our town as thousands of fellow officers saluted a fallen brother, as the people of Lakewood tearfully united to say goodbye to a beloved officer, and the strains of taps on the bugle play back in my mind, there's one refrain and words that I clearly say, and I want to share with our Lakewood Police Department. Always safe, extra safe. Thank you for joining us today.
Mayor, thank you for those beautiful words. And before we call upon the family to come up here to be with us as we give over the dedication of the signs, I'd like to call upon our Chief of Police, Robert Lawson, to say a few words. And I must say, this is certainly a trying time. And getting through a trying time, it certainly takes someone with the leadership capabilities that we have in our Chief Lawson.
Thank you, Mayor. This undoubtedly was my most difficult experience as Chief of Police in Lakewood, and hopefully this will never be relived again by any chief, especially not here in Lakewood. We owe a tremendous debt and thanks to surrounding communities, to law enforcement officers across the state, to our local chiefs who took over our patrol operations, so officers could attend funerals, so officers could attend counseling sessions. Without them, we couldn't get through. Police officers are a brotherhood, whether you work in Bricktown, Toms River, Wall Township, Manchester, Howell. We're all brothers under the uniform, and we're there for them, and they're there for us, and that was never more evident than in this tragedy. I would also like to thank the Township Committee, especially Mayor Miller, our police liaison, Mayor Lichtenstein, who was there for hours and hours with me and with the other officer, offering his support. Without that, it would have been much more difficult, and it really bolstered us to see the committee behind us. Ray Coles was there for hours and hours. Unfortunately, not all the committee could be there because it occurred over the Sabbath, but the committeemen that were there were tremendous support for all of us. The agencies, the state police, tremendous support. And we are going to recognize some of the local chiefs this evening. So I can go on probably for hours and not thank all the appropriate people. My office staff was there for countless hours. Elizabeth Williams, Karen Mayers, Leanne, everybody gave of themselves. Deputy Chief Charles Smith, he probably went for 2 days without any sleep at all. Deputy Chief Capper, in charge of our tactical team. Lieutenant Greg Meyer, my command staff. Detective Lieutenant Paul Daly. Hours and hours and days without sleep until the suspect was apprehended. Just a tremendous job by everybody within the police department, our police family, all of the officers, all of the patrol officers out there searching for the suspect, doing whatever they can, gave of themselves, gave many hours of their own time. The support that we had from the community was tremendous. We had the Rosh Hashivas come in to offer their condolences. We had people lining, thousands and thousands of people from the community lining Monmouth Avenue. It was just so incredible. I had never seen anything like that. The hearts of the people and the residents just poured out for Chris and for the other police officers who were in pain. So again, we will be recognizing some of the local chiefs here tonight. And I know I missed people in thanking them, but from the bottom of my heart, thank you for your support, getting us through these difficult times. And as I said, we're a brotherhood. In your trying times, we will be there for you also. Thank you.
At this point, I'd like to call upon Kelly, the family, Chris's family, to please come up so we can present to you some of the signs that we put out. Gary, if you could come here as well, this was your idea to use Third Street. You hold this one from Chief, family stand in the middle, here, another one over here, another family hold this over here on the side. There we go. Okay. Squeeze it together. Okay. I'd like to call upon the president of the PBA, Gary Przwoznik, to say a few words. Again, Gary, thank you for coming up with this idea, working on it.
I'm not as elegant a speaker as you, so I wrote mine down. I would like to thank the mayor, the committee, the chief, for honoring our fallen brother, Chris Matlosz, in this way. I would like to also thank everyone for showing such support for Chris. I know how much Kelly, Adam, his mom, appreciate the outpouring of well wishes they have received since Chris's passing. I thought renaming the street in front of the police headquarters was most appropriate because we will see Chris's name and not only remember him every time we pass the signs, but also recognize the sacrifice he made in the line of duty. Maybe, in some way his loss will make us more aware and diligent when we are out on patrol. Chris Matlosz was a great cop and a great friend to everyone. His memory lives on in all of us who were lucky enough to call him a friend, and who, I am sure, is getting a kick out of the fact that we will now call this street right out front Matlosz Way. We love you. We miss you, Chris. Godspeed. At this time, I'd like to call Kelly, say a few words.
I also wrote mine down. Like Chief Lawson said, I can go on forever for all the thank yous. I want to thank the Township of Lakewood and the committee members, the Lakewood PBA, especially Gary and Lynn. I don't know what I would have done without them in the last 2 weeks. I also want to thank everyone in New Jersey and the country who has been praying for me, because I feel your prayers. A lot of times after death, we tend to forget after a while, not because we want to, but as the saying goes, life goes on. It will take a while for my life to go on, because I feel it's been robbed of me. The naming of the street will remind every officer who comes into work that Chris made the ultimate sacrifice on January 14th, and every officer will know to be always safe, extra safe. Not only will the number 317 on the street sign stand out in the town and every officer's mind, the last name, Matlosz, I couldn't wait to have, will forever stand out in mine. Chris and his father both died in this town, and now I know they will never be forgotten. I know Chris is looking down and is so proud of all the efforts everyone is making to always remember him. And on behalf of the Matlosz family and myself, this is an honor of a man who touched so many lives. Words cannot describe the bittersweet feeling I have, but I know his legend will never die, and he will be in my heart forever. And I just want to thank everybody for everyone's support in this tragic time.
Father for a moment, just to give a few more words, and I would like to say something. Chris did not die in vain. The unity that was brought about, the unity that's tangible, that's here in town, will forever remain etched into our minds, hearts, and memories. Because tonight, the photographers are taking pictures with the cameras. We're taking this picture and internalizing it within our hearts. And with the unity that was brought about through this, and that's why I say, Chris did not die in vain.
Thank you, Mayor. My name is William Townley. Chris was to be my son-in-law, and I'll never get to have that. But I just want to thank everybody, and I want for all positive things from this day forward to come from this tragedy. And we have a lot of good memories, all good memories of Chris. And I just want everybody to remember him tonight and remember him always. And again, all positive things to come from this. Thank you.
a proclamation by the Township Committee for Officer Chris Matlosz. Whereas Barack Obama has stated law enforcement officers are true heroes, quietly risking their lives every day to protect our public safety and private property. The routine, everyday nature of the courage makes it all the more extraordinary. Day and night, these brave men and women leave home, put on their badges, report for duty, putting their lives on the line for the rest of us. And whereas the passing of Christopher Matlosz on January 14, 2011 has caused a profound sense of loss to the community of the Township of Lakewood, as well as his family, friends, and colleagues, and all those who knew him. And whereas Officer Chris Matlosz was a dedicated member of the Lakewood Police Department since August 14, 2006, Officer Matlosz had previously served with the Englishtown Police Department for 2 years and had also served as a special police officer with the Freehold Township Police Department, Long Branch Police Department, and Manasquan Police Department. Now therefore be resolved that I, Menashe Miller, Mayor of Township of Lakewood, New Jersey, on behalf of its governing body, professionals, employees, as well as the community, are proud to dedicate the 3rd Street in the Township of Lakewood as Matlosz Way on February 3rd, 2011, in honor of Chris Matlosz. Madam Clerk, may I have a motion from the committee and a second to rename the street?
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations. In a few moments, we're going to open up the podium for the public to take comments for the public for the duration of an hour. And upon completion of comments from the public, we're all going to go outside. We're going to do an unveiling of the sign for Matlosz Way. Before I open up the podium, before I open the mic to the public, I have this one more last presentation. Chief, you've lost a son. You buried a son. My buddies in Iraq sent over a flag which was flown on a Lockheed Martin Viper tail number 900280 for a total of 2.5 hours over Iraq in support of Operation Dawn, presented to Robert C. Lawson, Chief of Police. Unfortunately, the flag was not folded, and at this point I'm going to ask Gary to come here and go through the procedure of folding a flag. Chief, this is for you.
Thank you, Mayor. This plaque and this flag will be in my office as a remembrance of Chris. He served with honor, and we will never forget him. Thank you.
We will now open the comments from the public for the next hour.
Testing. Although it's freezing cold out here, we're warm at heart. I would like to in the audience, all the chief of police from the surrounding towns, to please come up here with us. Again, all the chiefs of police from the surrounding towns, please come be up here as well. These chiefs have been a tremendous source of help, of mutual aid during the trying time that we went through. While we were grieving and while we were healing, these chiefs had their men in our town providing mutual aid without any additional expense to the taxpayer. Chief Brozzi, if you could come here as well. We know you're hiding. Thank you. I'm going to be passing over the mic to the Chief of Police. We have a presentation to the chiefs, and then immediately after, the unveiling of Matlosz Way. Major D'Angelo from New Jersey State Police. I know you're here. Okay, I see you. As I spoke of inside, with our fellow officers, my fellow chiefs of police and commanders, we could not have carried on during this tragedy. They provided resources, staffing, and most of all, support to get us through this tragedy and carry on. So it is with great pleasure I would like to recognize some of the chiefs here and thank them for their support and promise them our support in their time of need as well. So let's start with the plaques. Okay, the first plaque is for Chief Matt Kunz. He is the Chief of Police of Jackson Township. I don't know if he's here this evening.
Yeah, he's here somewhere.
Chief Kunz, are you here? Here he comes.
You over the show, bro. I'll give it up.
Besides the plaque for each of the chiefs, we have a pin, a Lakewood pin with 317, Chris's number on it, with a black line through it representing his ultimate sacrifice, and also a 317 sticker for them to affix on whatever they would desire to put it on. I gratefully accept this on behalf of the many men and women in the police department.
I gratefully accept this from Chief Lawson on behalf of the many men and women of the police department that spent many long hours out here assisting Lakewood. There's nothing we'd rather do than help out our brothers and sisters in law enforcement. We're glad to have assisted during that time. All right, thank you.
The next presentation is to Chief Brozzi from Manchester. Chief Brozzi retired last week after a distinguished career of 33 years at the Manchester Police Department. His successor is Chief Brian Klimikowski, and we have plaques for both of them to recognize their support during our time of need. Chief Brozzi.
Say a few words?
I don't know if Brian's here tonight.
Oh, here we go. Chief Mastronardi. Chief Mastronardi is the chief of Tom's River, our neighbor to the south. He He is always there whenever we need him. He provided not only officers, but dispatchers, and was a tremendous assistance. I don't know how we would have gotten through this without Chief Mastronardi. So Chief Mastronardi has been the chief probably longer than a lot of officers have been on the department. I believe about 17 years with a 37-year career, and we hope he doesn't retire anytime soon.
Get in, make it.
Just on behalf of the Tom River Police Department, Don and Chris, we're very grateful for the opportunity that we had to come up here, find police officer, and we walked away from this department with a new respect for the job that the men and women do in Lakewood Township. We should be very proud of them. So on behalf of Captain Henry, the Operations Bureau, and the members of the Tom River Police Department, thank you very much.
The next presentation is to Chief Ron Carter, the Chief of Howell Police Department. Chief?
Howell, our neighbor to the north, again, always there to support us whenever we need it, and us for them. So, thank you, Ron.
The next presentation is to the Chief of Wall Township. Unfortunately, he retired, I believe, 2 or 3 days ago, so when he called, he wasn't available. So, in his stead, I talked to a Captain Clayton, who sent up his SWAT commander, Lieutenant Jerry Inkin, who is here today to accept this presentation.
Lieutenant?
The next presentation is to Chief Rick Berquist from Bricktown Police Department. Chief?
Just like Tom's River, Chief Mastronardi, Chief Berquist is always there, always works with us very closely, always supports Lakewood, and we owe him a debt of gratitude. Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Chief.
I'd like to call up Major D'Angelo from the New Jersey State Police, who is representing Colonel Rick Fuentes.
I'm sure everybody was aware of the tremendous presence of the New Jersey State Police. They lined our streets. They did protection details. They were just tremendous. The show of support was overwhelming, and we'd like to express our appreciation to the Major and also to Colonel Fuentes. Thank you for all your help.
Again, on behalf of the Township Committee, we thank all the surrounding towns and law enforcement agencies that have provided for us mutual aid during this trying time. At this point, I'd like to bring everyone's attention to our sign right here. Kelly, if you can please make your way to the sign and unveil for us what is going to be now known as Matlosz Way.
Just climb on top of the police car, or if he's more.
This concludes the ceremony. God bless the Matlosz family, friends, and all those that have come here this evening, and God bless America. Amen.